What up, fam? What up? It's Film Fest Day 1!
Hello and welcome to the 2023 SCAD Savannah Film Festival through the lens of a student, film festival volunteer, and student moderator of the festival. The festival runs for a whole week at the end of every October in Savannah and is always a highlight of most students' school year. The festival starts on a Saturday and ends on a Saturday, so on this Saturday morning I got up for my very first shift as a VIP seater and then went back to the apartment to get ready with my roommates for the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie. It was so much fun to jam out with everybody in the theater. People were standing up, singing, dancing, and it was the best thing we could get to besides actually being there live.
What do we think? So good. It was so good.
The movie was held at a separate theater, so not a part of the SCAD Savannah Film Festival, although SCAD did have a screening of the Eras Tour the following January, which I will definitely show you in a vlog. On Sunday morning, I woke up, made my bed, and got ready for the day for my student moderator shift at the Lucas Theater. I decided to change up my outfit that I had planned from the night before to this bedazzled blazer that I love so dearly. When coming to SCAD, I would definitely recommend purchasing some business professional outfits if you don't have some already, just to prepare for any events or presentations that might come up. My student moderator partner and I were introducing the film A Little Prayer, which was really good. We had the opportunity to watch it directly after our introduction. Following the film, I went back to the apartment to eat some lunch and say hey to my roommates. As you can see, Meredith also had her film festival volunteer gear on as she was at that shift as well. For those of you who may be gluten-free or enjoy eating gluten-free, these cookies called Sweet Laurens are so delicious. I then grabbed some candy and walked out the door to do my bi-weekly check-ins with residents on my floor. As a resident assistant, we walk around every other week just to check in with students, see how they're doing, pass out some candy, and just socialize. I then went over to Graham Scott after dinner for a little photo session that I had to do for my Photo 214 class. Olivia here is amazing and beautiful and wonderful and sweet, so it was a pleasure to be around her. And then I grabbed some Carnival. They're usually open until 11 o'clock and it always hits the spot on a late school night. On Monday morning, I woke up early for my 8 a.m. Photo 150 scanning and printing the color image class at Graham Scott, and then usually I'd have my Film 240 post-production class at Adler Hall right afterwards, but during Film Festival week, the School of Film and Acting does not hold classes so that the students couldn't go out and participate in all of the Film Fest activities, so I went to Chick-fil-A afterwards before going to a producers panel lined up with many female accomplished producers, such as producers of Barbie, Twilight series, Percy Jackson series, and many more. After the panel, I went over to the library to get a little bit of work done between events, and then headed over to the Trustees Theater across the street to introduce the film Elemental and the director Peter Sohn. When I walked out of the theater, there was an enormous line of people waiting for the discussion with Kevin Bacon, so I went over to grab some dinner at the Seafood Shack before walking back over to see if I could get into the discussion, because my student moderator pass allows me to get into any screenings or panels before 7 p.m. and I was able to get in and was really excited about it. Following that, I had a VIP seater shift for the movie May December and was crossing my fingers that I would be able to sit through the movie and watch it, which I did, and I was so excited, particularly because if you watched my very first vlog that I ever posted to my channel, I was an extra on a movie on my very first professional movie set, and it was May December, and so it was so full circle to see it a year later at the film festival. The next day, I took some time away from the Film Fest activities to focus on a very personal project for my Photo 150 class. The theme of the project was loss, particularly my personal story of losing my brother and just different perspectives from my parents' perspective and my perspective. However, since my family lives far away, I actually ended up asking a family from the church that I attend to help me out, and they so graciously said yes to being in front of the camera and so vulnerable with these visual representations that I had planned out. So we went to a piece of land that night and created all of these images. So I obviously did not vlog that night and definitely wanted to be present and in the moment. If you're interested in seeing one of the images created that evening live in person and you're in Savannah, stop into the Gutstein Gallery for free, and this image here will be on display until April 29th, 2024 for the Leica exhibition called Power in Perspective.
Morning. I didn't vlog much last night because, oh, there's the train. It's right next to our building. I just took in being present at the piece of land and with the family, and it's also a little bit emotional for me. Just thinking about everything. It's just more of a personal night that I'd rather have off camera. So that's what I did. But I'm ready to vlog the rest of the week.
This was Wednesday morning, so I had my photo 150 class at 8 a.m. at Graham Scott, and once again did not have film class right after due to Film Fest, so I went back and made some oatmeal.
Hey guys, let's chat while I eat my oatmeal. Ta-da! Class was so good. We did critiques of everybody's progress on our projects, so I shot mine last night and it went really well. The family was wonderful, and so I showed my kind of some raws. I explained my process and my vision for each photo of this sequence. It's been good, but I've been kind of working through reliving some moments, thinking about some hard grief, and also just thinking about how my story goes into this. I don't know, it's really special to be able to share a story in some way, and learning how to put my voice more into my work and what I actually want to be saying as an artist for my work. And so that's what I've been doing. It's been really cool, and I've loved my classes.
I went to Kroger to grab some groceries along with some flowers for the family that had helped me out the night before that I had planned to drop off that night. So afterwards I went to Chatham, which is right by Kroger, for a little cauliflower crust pizza action. It's so good. They also have them at Boathouse, which is right next to Victory Village as well. I made my way to Broughton Street for another panel. This one was called Docs to Watch, and it was full of documentary directors. Super insightful, and I got to sit with my film buddy Owen. We were both required to go to this panel for our Film 240 class. I then went to the little convenience store right next to Sand at Victory Village and used my dining dollars and some grocery items. I then went to Walmart to pick up some photo prints I had ordered for the family that had helped me out the night before to drop off my card and flowers.
A story. So I found these two birds on the shelf of Target, and I found these three birds on the shelf of Target, and they were sad and alone and hungry and scared, so we're going to take them home, adopt them.
My RA friends are so sweet, and I'm so grateful for our spontaneous hangouts. Thursday was a little bit of a work and relaxed day. I spent a lot of time at the apartment, so first I got ready, then did some laundry before lunch.
And there's egg all over my phone.
That week I had some business homework to do and photo editing to complete, so after cleaning up the kitchen, grabbing my laundry, I did a little bit of that before heading to class, where I grabbed some props for our in-studio session, and during break I went over to Alexander to pick up my prints from the lab and slice them to the size they needed to be. Here is a little bit of our studio time that we did during the Photo 214 class before going to CBC College Night at church. On Friday morning, I headed over to Graham Scott for a good 5-hour-long studio shoot. I was hoping to run over to the Gutstein Gallery to catch a film festival panel with special guests like Maddie Ziegler and Taylor Zakar Perez. However, I was so tired, so I went back and took a nap before getting some Mediterranean food from Shook for dinner, then headed into the Trustees Theater for the movie screening of Priscilla. It was an honor to have and see Kaylee Spaney, the lead actress of the film, to accept her reward and have a Q&A afterwards for the very first public screening of the film. Afterwards, they had a little celebration to celebrate SCAD's 45th anniversary and just a celebration of the festival. Other things that the festival has that I didn't get a chance to show this week because they didn't attend our directors' meetings and discussions at hotels in the morning, and there's also master classes that are held by various actors, directors, producers that are actually more intimate settings within the classroom that I did get to attend the year before with guests like Madeline Klein and Miles Teller, but this year was so full of other wonderful activities such as student moderating films this year, which I would absolutely recommend auditioning for if you're able to. My next volunteer shift was to be a VIP seater at the Phantom of the Opera with a live organist in the Lucas Theater. The organist was fantastic, and my job during the screening was to just reserve President Wallace's seat and sit in it in case she wanted to arrive, but I think she was at a different panel at the time, so I got to sit and watch the entirety. That evening we had the pleasure of watching the screening Origin, which is an incredible film directed by Ava DuVernay, who you see here. It had a standing ovation, and it was so cool because once again, a bunch of SCAD students, including myself, had the opportunity to be extras in that film just that February of 2023, so it was just so cool to see it finished at the Savannah Film Festival months later. If you are unsure about opportunities at SCAD, let this be a testament of that to you, that there are just so many. You just have to be the one to take advantage of it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.